We're gonna mute this. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. I think we're live. It looks like we're live. It says live streaming, so I think we're live. So I'm so happy because I get to spend some time with my friend Virginia.
Yay! Hi, how are you, Lauren?
Hi. Ah, now I get the background noise. So let me get rid of that. It says live streaming, so I think we're live. Oh,
You
I'm
gotta
so
love the background noise and technology and all the crazy of it, right? Like right now, my printer just decided to start printing things. It's been sitting on it all night, like deciding to print, and now like the ghosts have decided to print my stuff.
ay ay ay. Wait.
Right now, my printer just decided to start printing things. It's been sitting on it all night, like deciding to print, and now like
Ah, we're good.
all right.
Here we are. I'm back. Still
Yay.
here with my friend Virginia, but now we have no technical challenges, so I'm very happy. So Virginia is truly like she calls herself the referral diva, and really that is what she is. She's so much, so she's that and so much more. I don't even know where I originally met you. It was during COVID. I know that. I think it was
I
at
think we met at a JVology event through Shay
Aviology. That's what I was
Bissett.
going to
And
say
I
with
don't know if
Jay.
that was online or if we actually met in Calgary or if we.
No, I worked with Jay from other things, and then we met in person on the marketers cruise the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Who knows?
Virginia
We've just been buzzing around each other in love.
buzzing around, literally, like bees in a hive, helping each other, helping people. And Virginia is in you're in St. Louis, right?
Right outside St. Louis. Yeah.
So is how's the weather?
Uh, you know, hard to
Hot?
tell. It'll change about 9 times today, but mostly hot and muggy.
Mostly hot and muggy, at least
Yeah.
for now. So that's
Yeah.
about to change too. But
Those.
Virginia is like just the most amazing connector, and she has a wonderful program coming up where she's going to teach people how to use her strategies to make stronger connections. Is that pretty much what it is?
Yeah, mm, what I know about folks that are getting into business, whether, or starting to grow. So it's either you're getting in and you don't know what you don't know, or you've been in for a while and you're a really good technician. You're super good at what you do, right? So you're an attorney, you were working in a law firm, you decided you'd had enough with the law firm grind. Maybe you were never going to get the partner position that you wanted. You keep getting passed over. So you say, forget it. I'm going to go open my own practice. And you're an amazing attorney, but what you didn't realize is that someone else was doing all the marketing and someone else was bringing all the work
Mhm.
to the table and someone else was managing all the money and someone else was making all the decisions, right? So you're really good at what you do. And then you find yourself in that catch 22 place, which, Michael Gerber pointed it out. It's the E myth, right? Like she was really good at making pies, not so much at running a business. And so
You
what
know that
happened,
guy has to be like almost what
he's
I met
old.
him. He's got to be. When I met him, he was already in his late 80s, and that's got to be about before COVID. So wow,
Yeah.
he's a myth unto himself, a myth
He
and a
is.
legend.
He is. He is. And our friend TR Garland was actually his VP of marketing and sales for a while. So we know a lot of people that are well connected to him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Lauren, it's really interesting because we're told we should chase the 6-figure dream or the 7-figure dream or the 8-figure dream or the 9-figure empire, right? Like there's a sort of empire building mythos to the space that we're in, when really what most coaches, consultants, and service providers want is freedom. They want to own their time. They want to own their money. They want to own their home. They want to own their effort. They want to own their energy. They just want to be the captain of their own life. And
Hmm.
what starts to happen is there's so many facets to that. And unless you know how to balance it and what order to do things in, right? The genius is in knowing where the cart goes, because most people buy the cart but they don't have a barn, they don't have a horse, they don't know anything about horses, don't know what horses eat, don't know how much it's going to cost to feed the horse, don't know about the tack, don't know, right? They got a cart and they're super excited about the cart. But then they're frustrated because they spent all this money on the cart but they can't haul anything. right?
100%.
And so
Or
what
they
I
try to be
do,
the jack of all trades.
right? Well, which, let's be real. If you are going to have a six-figure practice. So let's make a difference between a business owner and a practice owner. A practice owner, you're just looking for more clients. You're a guy or a gal looking
Right.
for clients,
Fee for service.
which is where we have to start, right? So
Yes.
you also hear a lot of people say, Lauren, stop trading time for money. Okay,
Yes.
right
Time for
now,
money.
that's the
Right.
only skill set that we might have when we come out of the gate.
Yes.
Okay. So at some point, you also are a person that is now maxed out of time. You're making all the money you're ever going to make. And you start realizing that your take home pay is $3,200 a month. And you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. I'm working twice as long with fewer days of vacation, fewer days off. I feel guilty when I take time off. At least when I was working for the man, that was my not being there was the man's problem. And I was taking my 2 weeks, right? But when you're an entrepreneur, you don't give yourself any of those permissions because you don't have any more money, you don't have enough money to go on vacation. You don't feel like you have enough time to do the things you want to do. And so my workshops and my mentorship programs, because I don't coach, I'm a mentor. Okay. I'm a business mentor, not a business consultant, not a business coach, not a business advisor. I'm 100% coming alongside my clients and mentoring them to create the business that fuels their passions, funds their dreams, and makes the difference they want to make without
Repeat
burning them
that.
out.
Fuels their passions, funds their dreams, and makes the difference they want to make.
Right. Without burnout.
Oh, without burnout.
Without burnout.
Oh, I was good up till that point.
So the workshop takes you through it takes you through the heart, and then it takes you through the head and the strategy. And that for me is really, really key. And I just find that people are striving, they're striving for the quick fix. They're like, oh, I know I'll launch a podcast, or I know I'll write a book, or I know I'll hold a summit. Like, they're doing all these activities, but the activities aren't really pointed at building the business that fuels their passion, funds their dreams, and makes a difference. And they need more than that. And mostly what they need is resilience, self-efficacy, and focus, and knowing what the right thing is to do in the right order. And I have screwed up enough in the last 20 years that I know the right order of things, and I know the wrong order of things. And I have dozens and dozens and dozens of clients who have followed the yellow brick road and gotten to the Emerald City and clicked their heels together and landed back home in a renewed, transformed circumstance. And I've got plenty of people that didn't follow the yellow brick road and didn't get where they wanted to go, but it was for lack of efficacy and focus.
Yeah, focus is key. It's funny that you say that because my mom keeps sending me all these ideas about different things. I'm like, Mom, I can only do so much, you know? Like, she's like, oh, then she says, I can't sleep, so you should do this. I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, just now she went, don't even ask. I'm not even gonna say. They're great ideas, but like, we as entrepreneurs have to manage the squirrels and stay focused. And it's so important as we're building and scaling and growing our businesses to work with mentors like Virginia to help walk you through that process. Now, Virginia, tell us a little of the event. What's the cost, and when does it start, and how do people sign up? And I know you're going to send me a link, and we're going to share that with our tribe. But tell me more details, please.
So the event's taking place online, so it's a virtual event. One of the things we're finding, I love live events, and that's when I'm in my glory, when I'm with people. But it's really hard right now, especially people that are with the, I don't know, north of the border. Like, I was looking at the exchange rate for the Canadian dollar and I nearly fell over. I was like,
Tell me about it. I work with Canadians all day, every day.
oh God, and so I know that that's difficult. And I also know that when you're dishing out a lot of money, but you're not making a lot of money, it's pretty hard to justify the plane ticket and the hotel and the everything, right? So we're going to do it online this time. And my goal is to have 80 to 100 people jump in. I like it when people are there for all 3 days because this thing works a little bit like a barrel of monkeys. You remember that game where like a monkey tail hooks another monkey tail and then that monkey tail hooks a monkey tail? So every segment that we do, we take what we did in module 1 and then we use it in the next module, right? So it's best if people can be there for the whole time. And we're going to walk through really truly setting up the business that you are creating, having a really good, clear idea of what it is that you want to create, what is the lifestyle that you want to create. And then we're going to look through why it is that you aren't leveraging all of your assets because, regardless, I don't use paid traffic. I think paid traffic is very expensive for the average practitioner. And I think it requires algorithms and it requires a lot of tech knowledge to be able to crack all of the codes, right? And they keep changing them because let's face it, you are paying for eyeballs and it's a bid. It's a bidding war for people's
And they
attention.
don't want you to crack the code because then
Correct.
the eyeballs become less relevant.
Right. Every set of eyeballs is able to generate less revenue. So that's why I really enjoy networking, and networking is not just going to events, Lauren. It's not about that. It's about, hey, Lauren, who do you know? I'll give an example. I've got a friend. She just got diagnosed with leukemia. What do I know? She wants alternative treatments. So I called a new BNI member he's a gastroenterologist, bariatric surgical guy, but he's also Indian. And so I just reached out. I was like, do you know anything about Ayurveda? Do you know anything about non-allopathic medicine? What do you know? And he was like, oh yeah, like I'm completely integrative. I'm not an oncologist, but if I can talk to her about what her fears and frustrations and challenges and like her concerns, I can hook her up with somebody who can help her. That's networking. Right? That's networking. I called somebody I know to find out who they know so they can help my friend find who they need to know. So we're going to go 3-4 degrees of separation to get an answer, but we're going to get there. And so there's all sorts of people that we know, people that we sort of know, and people that we want to know that can help us grow our business. And we need a system for organizing that. And then we need a system for leveraging that, for having the right kinds of conversations with people based on the funnel that they're in and based at the stage of interest or development that they're in. And most people dump their whole network into one big database and they tag them for things like downloaded my lead magnet, showed up at my summit, but they aren't tagged to a sales funnel or to a referral partner funnel, to a collaboration funnel. Right? So in my CRM, I have a client tag and a nexus tag. That's what I call the active people. The people that I'm actively networking with who are helping me build my business are my nexus. So that's fundamentally what we're going to develop when we're in the 3 days together. We're going to be able to start looking at what's your human capital look like in your business? And how do we appropriately leverage that to grow the business that fuels your passion? Because who wants a business that's a grind? That's why we left the job. And something that's going to fund your dreams. So what are those dreams and what are we funding? And makes a difference. And I have a philanthropy forward coaching style, which means first we write the check to philanthropy, even if it's $1. Don't tell me you can't afford $1. You know what? You could say every week I'm going to forego one Starbucks coffee and I'm going to send that to someone.
Ah, nice. Yes. That
right?
means thoughtful.
Yes. So I'm going to release that to do good in the world. Then I'm going to pay myself 10%. I'm putting 10% in my freedom fund, which is the 10% that I don't touch. And then the rest of that I'm going to use to build my business, fund my life, and all that sort of stuff. So, I'm all about having prioritized money management and just understanding how to build your business. But mostly it's all about leveraging your human capital. and knowing
Yeah.
how to organize it so that you can make money with people, not from people, not off people, with
No,
people.
with, right. Absolutely. You have to look at it that way, as a win-win, where you're both bringing value together.
Mhm.
And that's why you're so into joint ventures and affiliate partnerships and all of that kind of thing, because that's really what it's all about. Like people that are not in the in entrepreneurial space, lawyers, let's
Mhm.
say, for example, lawyers pay referral fees to other lawyers, but beyond that, it's like, sorry, I'm in a box. And they have to be, or we have to be because of license requirements. But when you're an entrepreneur, you think about how to bring value together to clients to
Mhm.
serve them with a deeper purpose and a deeper structure. That's actually why, as you know, I started this fractional service company, because there are a lot of clients of yours that don't, or anybody's that don't realize what they're missing, and they don't have to pay $300,000 to hire this person and that person and this person, because there's only 6 degrees of separation. And between Virginia and I, we probably know all the right people to bring you the value that you need, and provide the services that can help you to scale and grow your business successfully. And Virginia's going to teach you a system to analyze those relationships. I'm sure you know Nancy Matthews, who's another amazing networker, and Nancy wrote a book called The One. And it's
Mhm.
the same concept, because you just don't know, like that person that's mowing your lawn may be the person that's going to lead you to your next big opportunity. And you
Right.
have to look at each person as a potential collaborator. Like the GI doctor isn't necessarily somebody that you would serve traditionally, but yet you had somebody for that GI doctor to meet because you think outside of the box.
Right.
So, and that's why I love this woman so much, because she's always thought outside of the box, and she has this amazing energy. And it's infectious. And that's why, how many people did you bring on the marketing cruise last year? Like 40 or something?
I sold 10 cabins, so 20 people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
having trouble selling 2 or 3.
It
But
was
anyway,
super
it's
fun.
truly a pleasure. I know you're going to send me a link so I can share it on
Hmm.
my, yes. And I'm going to also send this video. So once you send the link, we're going to share the video with everybody on our list,
Hmm.
and that didn't have a chance to watch us live on YouTube. And hopefully we'll be able to get some people into your amazing event next week. So thank you.
That's awesome, Lauren. Thanks so much. So, yeah, we'll definitely get you a link and we'll get you a little coupon code so that your network can save 70% off.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
super fun.
You have a lovely day. Thank you so much. And we'll